And with that, we welcome you to our second U23 game of this Junior National Tournament for Canada Ball Hockey, as the game just before this one saw Team BC up New Tecumseh Extreme, the other two teams in this division. But here and now we focus on Team Saskatchewan and Team Newfoundland and Labrador. Saskatchewan in the green and yellow, white, blue, and red for Newfoundland. These two teams meeting here in the first game on the first game day of these championships, all culminating in Saturday's championship conclusion, the championship games and then the bronze medal games as well. 4 U23 teams. These the two that have yet to play. If you're just joining us for this broadcast, you missed an incredible opening game. That's all those 12 goals, with 7 of them the way of Team BC. Their power play was phenomenal in that one, scoring 2 in the third period on what was ultimately a 5-on-3 that saw them score on both opportunities. As we get an early whistle here. And an offensive zone faceoff for the hosts. Saskatchewan will bring this forward and will dump this in. Over to the far side boards, just in front of the benches, swept forward. But now Newfoundland on a quick break down to the left. Sprinting in, fed backside and gobbled up by the goaltender. As Carson Hall will hold on. With 13:06 to go here in this opening scoreless period. So Hall will set up to his right-hand side as Newfoundland is forced all the way back. And quickly charging forward. And Saskatchewan will work over to the far side corner board. Tie up of bodies as this ball is just shuffled up the kick plate. Now 2-on-2 they work, and that down low, looking for an avenue to try to squeeze this into the slot. Instead, they'll try to play it further below the goal line and behind the net. Banked off the far boards, played forward to the corner yet again. Spun to the middle, nobody home in a yellow sweater. And Newfoundland will try to move it out on the near side. Off to the head, and over to the far side of the neutral zone, and over the boards they come with fresh legs for both teams. Off the near side now, cross rink, and Newfoundland brings it forward. Here's a backhander that gets turned away, and into the corner boards they continue to work. 2 yellow sweaters swarm the first white sweater that was the puck or the ball carrier. And Saskatchewan trying to settle this up out of their own end. 11.5 to go here in the scoreless first. Newfoundland brings it forward. All sorts of traffic collapsing in front of the Saskatchewan net. And the ball is brought into the offensive end at the other end. Newfoundland will change behind as they charge into the offensive end, but the loose ball will roll into the neutral zone, kept in just before the red line. Snapped crossways. Now a backhander spun into the middle, and this one trickles wide off the pads of Hall. Under 11 to go here in the first. A nice cut to the middle. Saskatchewan will steal it away. This is lofted forward and a fast break into the offensive end. We'll try to get there as Ryan Barnett will steer it wide. They work off the near side of the rink and then can spin this back to the point, but instead it's fired high and wide of the outstretched glove of Barnett. Barnett looks off to his left-hand side. They work off the boards. Saskatchewan cuts to the middle. Here's a quick shot, a delay on it. Now the second chance and the follow-up. They dig for it off that far post, and finally it is covered. And we get the whistle for a face-off. And is there something more, or is this just a hold for the delay? And I think there's something more here, and it looks as though Newfoundland will find themselves shorthanded early. Cross-checking the call, and to the box goes the 18 of Regan Hiscock. And an early power play opportunity for Saskatchewan to try to take the lead in this game. Just over 10 to go. They start the setup, worked over to the near side with Holden Knights. Now down low, that backside post, a swing and a miss. Loose puck out in front. This is lifted up into the pads. And out of play. So the face-off in the neutral zone, just outside the defensive blue line for Newfoundland. Saskatchewan on the man advantage here with the early cross-checking penalty to Hiscock. Off the far boards, little circle, they work out of the corner now. 9.5 to go here in the opening frame, still looking for the opening goal. At this point in the previous game, in BC and Extreme, we had already seen the go-ahead goal, the tying goal, and in just a few moments' time, we will have seen the go-ahead goal for BC. And what was 2 unanswered in the early goings, in what was a 6-goal thrilling first period that both of these two teams got to sit by and watch. 3-3 at the end of 1, 4-4 at the end of 2, finished 7-5 in favor of BC. So right now the team to beat, but these two locked in a pretty defensive battle here. As Slater will take it at the red line, a soft chip ahead. Here's a quick break, the shot. Oh, and that one steered wide by Barnett. Fresh legs on for Newfoundland. Saskatchewan charges into the offensive end. Trying to set up here on the power play. Backside scores. Saskatchewan strikes first, a power play goal with just over 8.5 to go in the first period. It is 1-0 for the hosts here in the late game of this U23 bracket. So the power play comes through. Gives Saskatchewan the 1-0 lead. And back to even strength is Newfoundland. We're going to make an adjustment here to the clock. .38 locally. As we have found our first goal of the game. Just about midway through this first period. Saskatchewan scores on the power play, 1-0. Back to even strength. Now a hard tie-up of bodies, really a wrestling match, and then another body goes flying, and we play on. Off the far boards, Newfoundland trying to find a quick answer. They're aggressive here into the attacking end. Saskatchewan looking for the quick loft forward as they sprint down to the right-hand side. Newfoundland takes over. They'll work down the near side of the floor. And offside. .7:52 to go in the opening frame of the opening game for these two sides. Everything culminates with all the championships and the bronze medal games on Saturday throughout the day. Really throughout the venues here hosting this tournament, games galore. We're wrapping up the weight games across the tournament schedule here on day one. These get started early tomorrow in the midday. As Newfoundland takes it, odd man rush as they start to work ahead, but defense of Saskatchewan able to get back, break that up just inside the blue line. And now a quick jolt forward for the team in white, that's Newfoundland. Attacking from right to left here. Right now, having to try to regain possession. Right at the corner of the red line. Can they keep it in? No, it is shuffled across by Saskatchewan. And they continue to work, and this is shoveled forward by Nicholas Goering. Newfoundland will take over. It is even strength hockey here with just about 6.5 to go. And the quick couple of stutter steps and then the soft look to the rafters as they turn around for icing against Newfoundland. And the face-off will come to the right of Barnett. Barnett, not much he could do on that power play goal for Saskatchewan. It was back and forth in front of his net and create that kind of lateral movement across the goal mouth. You find the guy on the backside. Pretty hard for a goaltender to try to keep that one out. That's the case in this one, and that is the difference as we pick under 6 minutes to go here in the opening period. Mark Shelley with you here this evening. Glad to have you with us on day one of the junior national tournaments for Canada ball hockey. Corner of the blue line. Snap through the middle, and that gets intercepted by a yellow sweater waiting, but then at the blue line kept in again. Rod forward by Neal. Now he'll set up below the goal line waiting for this. Then all the way back, here's a drive from McGuire. And then loose out in front. There's an in-tight chance that will not go. As holding on to it is Carson Hall. And he'll pick up the whistle for a face-off, and the reinforcements can enter the rink. barring that power play goal, each team has had a fair number of offensive zone possessions, fast breaks, and good looks on goal. But it is the penalty that nets fruit for Saskatchewan. And that Newfoundland is trying to overcome. This is spun off the backhand into the middle. It looked as though Hall just got a piece of that to kick it wide. Newfoundland keeps it in. They'll dump this in on the end around over the near side corner. Up the wall, and Saskatchewan will try to break out. This bounces around. And in fact, the gold and green are able to move it forward. Out of their own end, diagonally forward to the center of the ice. That gets tipped up and out of play. And we get our whistle with 4.5 to go here in the first period. So Hall will come out. Looks as though he needed a quick breather, quick talking to his teammates. This is floated forward. Newfoundland's able to keep this in at the blue line. Snapped over to the middle. They score. Newfoundland finds their answer as Derek Lukian is able to spin that one on frame. I beg your pardon. That is Tyler Curnew, who's able to spin that on frame, finds himself just inside that far side circle. And the power play goal erased by the answer from Curnew. And Newfoundland is on the board, and the game is level, 1 apiece, under 5 to play. That is a big-time, quick developing shot that finds an answer. And in a game that has been fairly back and forth, fairly even, minus that one power play opportunity that netted the goal, a well-deserved tying tally for Curnew and Newfoundland. Restart sees an icing, and the face-off back down to our left yet again. .4:11 to go in a 1-1 game. Each team 2 official shots credited. Newfoundland jumped early, so we'll try it again on the near side down to get the action back underway. Saskatchewan wins it. That takes a deflection. That's going to benefit Newfoundland as they can try to work off the near side boards. The pick and roll, and that's an opportunity to try to set up here just at the blue line. A swarm of those golden sweaters attack. There's a quick developing shot from McGuire. That gets turned away by Hall. Newfoundland staying here in the offensive end. 3:35 to go. Opening frames tied at 1. Newfoundland is the answer. They knew the latest goal scorer. Both teams will make changes. 3:20 to play. Now stolen away. A quick break into the offensive end for Newfoundland. Fed out in front. They score. A misplay just outside the blue line springs 2 white sweaters, and they go quick passes out in front. And just like that, Saskatchewan's opening goal of the game quickly forgotten about. It's 2 straight for Newfoundland. and they take a 2-1 lead here late in the first. So now Saskatchewan tasked with the job of scoring again here in this first period. It took them just over half the period to do so. And with the man advantage, but now 2 straight even strength goals by Newfoundland have not only erased the Saskatchewan lead, but have given themselves their first lead of the game. Couple of bodies get upended. They work off the near side boards, and now we get a whistle. And an opportunity here for Newfoundland to bring out their 4-man unit again. Holding the call, Saskatchewan's going to get an opportunity for a second time on the power play. They're the only team that has benefited from the referee's arm in the air. And boy, did they benefit on their first opportunity. Gave them the 1-0 lead, the opening goal of the game. But since, it's been 2 straight even strength goals for Newfoundland. Now an opportunity for Saskatchewan to do it again and try to tie this game up late here in the first period, right before the intermission. Off the far circle, one-timer snap, forward rebound, loose ball. They try to tuck it in, it still won't go. Out of that far corner, brushed up the wall, pushed back to the point. Over here by the 12 of Griffin. Now taken over by the 24 of Zultak. Zultak plays it forward, creeps in, low circle shot, and that one turned aside and held on to by Barnett, and they'll pick up the whistle. Great movement by Saskatchewan. You can see the collapsing penalty kill of this Newfoundland side. Let them play the perimeter, but keep those lanes blocked up. But there was an opportunity to just creep in off this near circle for that shot, but Barnett had the post locked down. Ensuing face-off sees Saskatchewan come away with it down low, fed into the slot and steered wide. A long rising shot on a big windup there from Holden Knights. Back to Griffin. He pushes it over too hotly, that sees it fall into the corner. But back to Knights, so he mishandles it and he keeps it in at the red line. Excuse me, here's Knights. Here's Griffin. He just off balance winds this one cross link and ultimately falls to another yellow sweater. There's a great walk out in front, taking it and eating that one is Shane Delaney. That one stung him a bit, but he pops back up. Delaney a bit labored in making his way over to the bench. And we get our whistle with 28 seconds left to go on the icing. Penalty kill unit still out for Newfoundland. Saskatchewan already scoring on the power play earlier in this period. Needing to do it again to tie things up. Here's a one-timer blast. That's a headhunter, and it's out of play and out of the attacking zone. Face-off will come just outside the blue line. And Saskatchewan will try to move it forward. They try to backhand it over. That deflects to the goal line. A quick push forward. That takes a deflection, but stays in the zone. Snapped ahead over the corner. Newfoundland's able to try to rim it around. And that'll do it for the first period. And we get set for period number 2 in a 2-1 game that sees Saskatchewan, despite scoring the opening goal on the power play. The wrong end of the 2-1 score line as Newfoundland 2 even strength goals to make it their advantage heading into the second period. Ryan Barnett, a couple of good stops. Same thing for Carson Hall, but most recently the one that gave Newfoundland the advantage. It was a defensive breakdown in front of it. It led to the odd man rush, and left man reaching right in front that received the pass and just able to direct that into the back of the net. Here's Farrell. He winds that high. It will stay in play as Newfoundland try to work here in the offensive end, trying to add to their lead. Ball is loose, top of that far circle, now high slot. Kenny shields it away, and diving on top of it is Hall. And he'll pick up the whistle as we've played less than a minute here in this second period. .57 here locally as these two teams round out today's slate in the opening day of the Canada Ball Hockey Junior National Tournament. There's a long shot and a goal. A wind-up from just inside the blue line from Ryan St. John. And that one finds its way past Hall. And just like that, Newfoundland continues to pour it on in the late stages of that first period, and they keep rolling here into the early goings of period number 2 with 13:53 to go. It is 3 unanswered for Newfoundland. On the back of that goal, if you are Saskatchewan, you're sitting there looking at the 1-0 lead you took on the power play. A second opportunity on the man advantage that came away empty-handed, and you're saying, oh boy, we need to get something going here, because that was a tremendous shot from just inside the blue line for St. John. And you have your work cut out for you now. Down 2 goals. You're in the early stages of the second. The benefit you have is that there's still plenty of time. Here's a quick off-balance shot. Saskatchewan tries to get one back, but Barnett will hold on and pick up the whistle, and that'll bring about the marching parade of the reinforcements to come set up for the face-off. It's under 13 and a half to go. The margin is 2. It is Saskatchewan on the wrong end of them. The Hulls striking first, and now they play some defense out of their own end. Up the near wall. Now they have numbers moving forward if they can put them in advantageous positions. Instead, they'll dump it in, rim it around. Settle back with their blue liners, who have to quickly backtrack into their own end, as here comes Newfoundland. Ball is up and out of play, and a face-off coming in the neutral zone with 12:49 to go. Saskatchewan wins the face-off just inside their own end. They're able to move this forward. Icing not a factor. Over to the near side boards. Saskatchewan will move it forward. They work behind the goal. Trying to find the avenue, but a hard harassment there from the 2 of Cole Goss. Going to jar that puck free out of his own end for Newfoundland. Goss will take it from behind his own goal as the pressure works. Newfoundland takes over, just over 12 to go here in the second. Off the mark on his advancement forward, and that will bring about the raised arm of the referee. We have icing, and the face-off down to our left. I guess you can't say it's early. It is noon for tomorrow's game. Saskatchewan is on the wrong end of this one. We could see the 2 teams that, if this result would hold the next period and a half, you'd see the 2 teams that are looking for their first win in the early of the matchups at 12:10 locally tomorrow, as Saskatchewan takes on Extreme. And then later on, following that game, when BC and Newfoundland will square off. And we'll see if both of those come into that, looking for one of those teams to move to 2-0. A Newfoundland trying to set that stage. Right now having to work out of their own end as Saskatchewan keeps this in the neutral zone. But Newfoundland's able to recover. And working back with it is Kenny. Long lob into the neutral zone, glove down by a Saskatchewan skater. Dumped ahead as Sanger will turn for a change. St. John, who has the most recent goal, it was a thing of beauty. A long wind-up shot from just inside the blue line to make it 3-1. 3 unanswered goals by Newfoundland. And now a delayed penalty here against the team in white as Carson Holland started to make his way to the bench, but it looks as though hooking is the call. And Newfoundland is going to go shorthanded. Owen Weiss. We'll go to the box. I beg your pardon. We're going to say that's Curnow. We will take the seat for hooking. So, for a third time tonight, an opportunity for Saskatchewan on the power play. They need to replicate that effort from back early in the first period. And if they do so, they'll cut this deficit in half and give themselves a bit of a jolt back to life here after the 3 unanswered by Newfoundland. Around over to the near side. Waiting is Griffin. He reaches out but can't keep it in, and it'll go across the red line all the way down. And Saskatchewan will have to pick it up and work forward again. They work in front of the benches, but a bit too early. That's going to be offside. And a face-off in the neutral zone upcoming. Griffin tries to plead his case, but to no avail. And the changes will come. Penalty time continues to wind down here against Curnow. As Saskatchewan brings it across the blue line. They work back just inside of it. Now here is Slater. Winds up, long shot, steered low and wide into the corner by Barnett. That into the middle, that deflects away. Now Slater will take it from Zoltak. Beg your pardon, here is Zoltak down low. He feeds backside one time, a little sprawled out was Barnett. And maybe got a piece of that, but I think it just went wide. Slater up top over to the near side now. Here's Ang. He gives backside. He works down low for Zoltak. That bounces away. Angle Zoltak again in tight. Barnett turns it aside to the corner. This is lofted skyward and down the ice. Excellent clear by Newfoundland. And Ryan Barnett has stood tall on this penalty kill to keep his team out in front by a pair of goals. 8:37 to go in the second period. Most recent goal, that big windup from Ryan St. John. It's on the ice just to the bottom of your screen here on the near side. It races on down the right-hand wing. Even strength hockey here as Newfoundland brings it ahead. St. John just inside the blue line. We'll move it forward. Off the near side circle and now set up, but they go cross ice instead out of the corner. Spun back. Here's Goss with a big drive and covered up by Carson Hall. face-off to the far side of the ice. Eight minutes to go during the second period as we're back underway. Good keep in here. Head over to the near side. There's a opportunity that pinballs around. And carried down that right-hand wing. Newfoundland, a slow creep into the offensive end. That backside off the mark. Then from the circle, a turning shot gets steered out of play. About 30 seconds gone by since our last face-off. And we'll try it again. And it looks as though it'll stay in the defensive end. Again, Newfoundland gets Team BC winners of the game just before this. Tomorrow in the second game, Saskatchewan gets New Tecumseh Extreme at 12:10. Move a drive into the middle. That takes a deflection into the air. Now carried forward is a pack of three into the offensive end. To the near side board. Saskatchewan setting up just inside the red line. And in the event this ball comes to them, Newfoundland takes over. They're going to play this conservatively back. Going to play some pitch and catch to create the lane to move this forward out of their own end. A sliding play to try to poke that forward. But to no avail. Was icing against Saskatchewan, so despite repeated tries there for the last couple of moments, Newfoundland's going to get the entrance into the zone they were hoping for, albeit with the help of the whistle and the required face-off to ensue. All sets up to the near side of the ice. Face-off is won back by Saskatchewan, but quickly jumping in is a Newfoundland skater. Off the near side, there's a spinning chance. That deflects over the near side. Goss waiting back corner of the blue line. If this comes to him, they try to feed it to him, but instead it's intercepted, poked past him, and the foot race is on down this left-hand side. You got some extra jabs there as this is covered up, and nothing overly malicious with 6:13 to go. You're in this second period with each team shooting 8 times. The difference are the 3 unanswered goals by this Newfoundland side to give them not only the tying goal, but then the lead and some insurance. Since that early goal here in this period by Ryan St. John, we haven't seen anything the way of scoring. Behind the goal of Hall, who looks over his right shoulder. Newfoundland here in the offensive end. This deflection in the middle, that's dangerous if a white sweater can get on the end of it. Instead, it is smacked clear by Saskatchewan, no icing. And now it's lofted ahead. Newfoundland comes across it with a nice little give and go attempt there. That deflects around. And nobody in a white sweater can get on the end of it. Now they can off the far side. This is Kernu. He goes crashing to the net. They try to feed the slot. And that gets covered up. Or a whistle. here as we approach the 5-minute mark. Left in this second period. At the end of the first 30 minutes. In the previous game, the other two teams, BC and Extreme, well, the combined goals of this game is what each team had to their credit at the end of 30 minutes, as we're going to see a penalty here, and it's going to go against Newfoundland. So Saskatchewan, another opportunity on the power play. Cameron Frost, he's going to take a seat. And that'll put Saskatchewan again on the man advantage. An opportunity to try to get one of the two they trail back. Under 5 to go here in the second. Saskatchewan will keep it in, at least momentarily. Griffin. The backside snapped into the middle, pinballing. Ball is able to be lifted down the rink. Newfoundland gets it clear. Griffin just outside the blue line. He will start to work back toward the red line. Snap it in, he'll get it right back. They got across, so the expanded zone. He snaps it forward. That one finds its way on frame and is steered wide by Barnett. Bulldog took a low shot that just can't find its way into the back of the net. So some fresh legs for the two sides. It's a double minor for the 73 of Frost. Something we saw a lot of in that first game. If you were joining us for that, it was really no such thing as just a minor penalty. And if there was, it was usually being tacked on to what was an already lengthy penalty to make it a 5-on-3. We saw 4 different 5-on-3 scenarios in that first game. As Barnett sprawls out, and behind the play, Christian Kenny, or excuse me, it's Keaton Slater started to raise his hand. Maybe thought it might have been a ball across the line, but instead, we play on. Saskatchewan works it forward at the far circle. They'll spin it back. Taken here by Knights. Ian Slater. Slater fakes it, lays it off hotly to the near side. He waits for it. If it comes back to him, one-time drive out in front, loose ball, they score. Saskatchewan gets a much-needed answer with 2:55 to go here in the second period. The deficit has been cut in half. They trail by 1. It's 3-2. A much-needed answer. After time and time again of trying, they finally find a breakthrough and score on the power play yet again, and we have ourselves a ball game here late in the second. Slater throw it to the net. The rebound off the pads of Barnett are cleaned up. Saskatchewan has their second of the game, but still have their work cut out for them. Prior to that one, it was 3 unanswered by this Newfoundland side. They can score at even strength. They have proven that. So far, they're looking up and saying, okay, if we have a game plan here to not get scored on, it's just stay out of the box. 2 power play goals for the total for Saskatchewan. They still trail by 1. Late stages, second period. McGuire fed it forward. Now down low off the play from Porter. Saskatchewan's able to chip this ahead in a quick break, but they are offside. The trail man just couldn't get there in time. And the faceoff will come outside the Newfoundland zone. The Newfoundland, who really kind of set it on cruise control despite some good looks offensively from Saskatchewan, just couldn't get anything through. Barnett has been stellar this evening. But down a man, he has been called upon time and time again. Twice he has conceded. His team is still giving him some breathing room back there. Under 2 minutes to go, 1:42 to play. As we get our whistle on the cover up. And changes coming for both teams. Relative to the 12 goals we saw combined in that first game, a low scoring game here in the second of these U23 games this evening. .101 seconds, not Dalmatians this time, but 101 seconds left to go in the period. And you can see sort of how that momentum has shifted to give Saskatchewan some signs of life. 13-8 after the shots were even at 8 apiece. So it has been 5 straight shots for Saskatchewan. And they've been able to net a goal that has given them signs of life and a jolt right back into this game, still trailed by a single tally. 80 seconds to go now. Newfoundland working back into their own end, trying to move this forward. Final minute of action here in the second period. Through the neutral zone. Newfoundland will quickly sprint all their units off to the ice, or off to the bench rather. And make changes. Saskatchewan trying to push this forward as we're less than half a minute to go in this second period. Each team has scored once in this frame with 18.2 seconds left to play. But it has not been enough for Saskatchewan. As that 2-1 advantage from the first period. Still holds, but this time at a 3-2 scoreline. As Newfoundland's trying to take the lead into the second straight intermission. 10 seconds to go. And that'll do it for the second period. Two periods down, 15 minutes left to play here on Tuesday night in game one for these two sides. Game two of the U23 bracket. We're at the Canada Ball Hockey Junior National Championships. Mark Shelley with you here this evening. Glad you could join us. This has been an exciting game. Both games have been exciting. This one far less scoring than we saw in the first one between U23 Extreme and Team BC, as that was a 12-goal thriller. 7-5 BC comes away the victor. BC has Newfoundland in their second game tomorrow, and Saskatchewan obviously will take on Extreme in that one. 3-2 as we get the third underway. Newfoundland had three straight after dropping the opening goal of the game to Saskatchewan on the power play. And then a second power play goal as seen Saskatchewan stop the bleeding, put a bandage on that, but they haven't gotten their full strength back as they find themselves trailing by the narrowest of margins. Face-off will come down in the Newfoundland defensive end. And Barnett will look on. Now Newfoundland will start the charge down that right-hand wing. The attack again, trying to reestablish their two-goal advantage. Right now, it is a single strike. It is a single miscue that could level this thing up. Saskatchewan here in the offensive zone, trying to set something up offensively just inside the blue line. Here's a loft forward. One finds its way over just high of that far corner. Snap to the middle, and that one's steered wide by Barnett. Down low. They work up the boards just in front of the benches. Mishandled, and that's going to come across the red line. And a self-inflicted clear by Saskatchewan. 13 to go here in the third period. Down by a goal. We are the hosts in the Golden Green. .11 to go. We get our whistle. As the puck went out of play, so we'll have the face-off down to our left. Both teams with double-digit shots. 14 to 10. Saskatchewan, despite trailing, has the advantage in that regard, in large part due to the power play opportunities that they have had. Newfoundland has yet to see such an opportunity. Ball looking over to the near side of the ice. Saskatchewan trying to break out of their zone. They get a piece of it, a quick bank off the boards, and that'll do enough just to clear it back to the neutral zone. As Newfoundland will take over, they try to work off the near side. In the neutral zone, it's forced back into the Saskatchewan defensive end. Newfoundland hard to the charge. They'll take possession of it off the far wall. There's a stumbling play that sees the puck charge free. And Saskatchewan will take over. 12 to go here in this third period. Trying to avoid dropping the opening game of their week-long slate is Saskatchewan. Those two power play goals, something to marvel at, but certainly not enough. Off chip forward down this left-hand wing. Newfoundland into the attacking end. Paul Cesis juggles it, but quickly reaches out and gobbles up the rebound that fell in and out of his glove. Puts the ball on top of it, 11:15 to go here in this third period. And that can be dangerous if he doesn't quickly flash the leather and cover that up, as there was a white sweater standing atop the crease ready to poke that one home and really put a dagger in Saskatchewan's hopes of overturning what was a 2-goal deficit after a early power play goal gave them the 1-0 lead, and it just sort of unraveled, and now it's maybe unraveling a bit for them here as Saskatchewan will send a man to the box. Looks as though we're going to see a high sticking penalty. And if Christian Kenny showed blood, it would be not much more of an issue to have to deal with. And that is the case. It is a 4-minute double minor. Against Dakota Whiteside. And with 11:06 to go in the game, down a goal, it's one of the last things you want to see if you are the Golden Green. Newfoundland will set up. They have the man advantage for 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Faking the shot was Neal. And this rattles around, gobbled up by Hall. So a chance here for Newfoundland to a bit of revenge on Saskatchewan. Use their first power play opportunity to do what the team in gold has done twice already. Newfoundland sets up far side. And right back to the point. Rory Neal slides one down low, push to the outside. Back to Neal. Hesitates, lays off the shot, creates some space. There's a turning chance, a loose ball, and it's rebounded wide on that turning opportunity for Morgan Porter. Now Neal again over to Porter, one-time blast, and that one goes wide. Porter just finding the perfect avenue to let those rip, but unable to find Swine and increase the lead back to 2. Here's Neal, a low shot, they score. That ball rebounded off the initial save of Hall, and a white sweater is there to clean it up, and the lead is 2 again for Newfoundland. Saskatchewan did all that work on their second power play goal to bring them back within 1, and Newfoundland says anything you can do, we can do just the same. And now it is 4-2 in favor of Newfoundland with just over 10 minutes to go. So now, momentum back with Newfoundland as they stick what they hope is a sharp dagger into the hopes and dreams of Saskatchewan here in the late stages of this game. As we'll see icing against Saskatchewan, they'll head back to their own side of the ice. Three power play goals in this game, 2 the way of Saskatchewan, 1 the most recent one. The way of Newfoundland. 9:45 to go. Even strength hockey as Newfoundland sets up. They work just inside the red line. That's given off from Nolan Cleary. Now they work below the goal line. Over to the far side corner. Chipped up the boards. Cleary waiting. Tries to take a swinging hack at it. He does just enough to let it fall for a teammate. Now down low and a rebounding ball again. This one is steered wide over the near side boards. Quick arriving cavalry. And looks like we're going to have a roughing penalty to the disbelief of Kyle McGuire. And maybe just what the doctor ordered for Saskatchewan after giving up the power play goal to go back down by a pair. They have an opportunity now to try to cut the gap down to one. Scoreboard on your screen reads 3-2. It is 4-2. We'll work on getting that adjusted. That's Saskatchewan, the fourth power play of the evening. Run back to Griffin. Long drive to the net, and that one's steered wide by Barnett. Under 9 to go here in the game. Dumped in, Barnett gloves it down. He'll quickly toss it over the corner. But he did not. Oh, the old fake. It's like in baseball, right? The hidden ball trick. Take it this way, fake you throw it, hold on to it in the glove. Walk over, tag the runner on second. Somebody looks like a fool, somebody looks like a genius. Somebody probably has choice words. No choice words there as Barnett just held on to it and faked Saul, but picked up the face-off, and now the clear by Newfoundland. Still in the box is McGuire for roughing. I think Saskatchewan had some protests there. Maybe Curnew has been picked up for the interference. There's a dogfight here on the near side of the blue line. As that puck gets rifled in, quickly spinning off his Knights. He works low circle, tries to cut inside, and is dispossessed at the last second, but we get a whistle. And it looks as though a penalty against Newfoundland, and a great opportunity for Saskatchewan to try to get this one back, hooking the call. And Saskatchewan will come together at the bench as they call timeout. They want to talk things over. Again, do want to mention it is 4-2 with the scoreboard still working on that at the bottom of your screen. A 5-on-3 power play opportunity here for Saskatchewan. Their 2 goals in this game, both power play goals. Those have been 5-on-4, so this is an even better opportunity for them to try to get one and maybe even the second one back. Face-off comes to the near side of the ice. High up with bodies, head back to Knights. Works in from the point. Goes down low at the circle. Knights sets up at the top. They feed it to him. A drive, and this one just steered wide. Barnett will sprawl out to try to make that stop. Knights, one-timer. Snagged out of the air, but it pops in and out of the glove of Barnett. Moved off to Knights again. He goes backside. There's a tough angle shot to try to put it across the goal line. Back to Knights again. Thought about it, lays off of it. Turning chance from Engel. And it bounces wide to the corner. They're just on a firing line here. Out of the box comes charging Kyle McGuire. So it's a 5-on-4 power play now for Saskatchewan. That was a short-lived 5-on-3, but it certainly netted a great number of chances, but nothing in the way of goals. There's a quick dive toward the net. That's stolen away by Newfoundland, and they're able to do just enough to move that across. No. Did they keep it in? No, they did not. And across the line. Forced back into the Saskatchewan defensive end. Golden Green will pick this up. They'll try to advance forward. Penalty time winding down. They need to get something going. They trail in this game. Just over 6 to go. Saskatchewan brings it back into the offensive end, but Newfoundland is able to bring this forward. And bank it in off the near side boards all the way down. Fresh legs for the team in white. Partial change coming for Saskatchewan. Time now becoming a factor against the hosts. Trying to avoid dropping the opening game of their tournament. Newfoundland into the offensive end. 4-2 with 5:24 to go here in the third period. Run in from a long way out, so Newfoundland can change on the attack. Rest of the units arrive, but a long snap pass forward, right idea, just the execution a bit off. And it's icing against Saskatchewan. Two goals in the next 5 minutes is the charge for Team Saskatchewan. Backs against the wall here, literally and figuratively, as they're just to top their own goal line for this face-off, and they'll try to get out of their own defensive end. Combined half as many goals as we saw in the first game. 7-5 was that final score between Team Extreme and Team BC. BC, who takes on Newfoundland tomorrow, the winners of the first of the two U23 games. Saskatchewan here in the offensive end, trying to get one back here and give themselves time enough to work with to try to find the tying goal, but right now it's about getting one back, making this a 4-3 game, and they're unable to do so on that stay in the offensive end. Long snap pass forward, that's offside, face off right there where the referee points to in front of Saskatchewan's bench. 4:25 to go here in the third period. The ensuing restart, a couple of bodies down to the floor. And not what Saskatchewan wants to see at this stage of the game. As now Newfoundland's going to call a timeout and not only give themselves a breather, but find a way to maybe add a little bit of extra insurance to this 4-2 scoreline. 4:14 to go. Saskatchewan sends a man to the box. Inopportune times despite success on the power play. Has been the story of this Saskatchewan side tonight. None of their 2 goals have come in even strength. All but 1 have been even strength for Newfoundland. And that's the most recent one. .357 to go here in the game. That's 2 minutes on the clock as Newfoundland will go to work. The 72 of Duperneau in the box. Newfoundland trying to add another one there as Neal wound up. Then the fast break on the other direction. Out to play it is Barnett. He'll snap this around. He saw a streak of gold headed his way. And that comes charging out to play. Now Goss works forward, knifed away at the last second, and then ushered across the red line by Saskatchewan. Doing a great job here, trying to keep Newfoundland off the board one more time to give themselves a crack at 2 goals in just about 3 minutes. A tough task considering what has gone on to this point in the game. But certainly not impossible. Neal slides it off to the near side. They go cross the ring. Back over and quickly gobbled up by Hall. 2:21 to go. Duperneau is in for 25 more seconds. And that will continue to milk time off this clock in what is now becoming a very mountainous effort that must be achieved by Saskatchewan. Newfoundland will take it out of their own end. Right now it is about using the manpower advantage to not only add to their advantage, but try to maybe even with the advantage in terms of personnel. Just milk some time off this clock and get to that final horn. .100 seconds left to go in the game. Scoring 2 goals in the next couple of moments. Newfoundland and BC will each have a chance to try to go 2-0 to start this tournament. As there's a scramble out in front of Hall. He's rolling around trying to stack the pads, and now a penalty here with just over a minute to go. And tempers flare. Saskatchewan will send a man to the box. Roughing the call. And that should pretty much do it in the way of the chances for Saskatchewan to try to cut the deficit in half and then go for a tying goal. Dakota Whiteside to the box for roughing. 5-on-4 to ride out this game, barring a blind-finding tally. 65 seconds left to go. Newfoundland has been forced to pay for their crimes committed on 2 different occasions. But other than that, a solid game, 3 even strength goals and the power play goal. We had the insult to injury. Nice little save there out of the air with the glove by Hall. Just over half a minute to go. Saskatchewan will have a crack at it in the early game against the Extreme, as another penalty is going to be called here for cross-checking this time. And it'll be a 5-on-3 to finish out this game. And things have gone from bad to worse here for Saskatchewan. But they'll have a crack at it along with Extreme, each team looking for their first win. Coming up in the early game at 12:10 tomorrow. Immediately following that, it'll be Newfoundland trying to go to 2-0 as they will take on BC, who looks to do the same after their impressive 7-5 win in the first game over Extreme. 5-on-3 to close it out. Hall with a save. And 11.4 to go. Before we wrap up day number 1 of these Junior National Championships for Canada Ball Hockey. Mark Shelley with you for these 2 U23 games. If you joined us for both, you've been entertained, that's for sure. I certainly have been, and they've been fun games to watch.